Peace be yours on this day. And welcome to Augsburg University's Daily Chapel in this new season of our spring semester together. My name is Justin Lind-Ayres. I serve as one of the campus pastors. Much has changed since we left for spring break, which seems like a foggy, distant past. COVID-19 has changed everything for this campus, for this city, for this state, for this nation, for the world. We at Campus Ministry have been holding you in our prayers, foremost for your safety and health and well-being, but also prayers for patience and for grace as we all are learning to function and in hopes to thrive in new ways. In this season, the campus ministry team is seeking ways to foster community and offer spiritual care and provide care for each other. Daily Chapel will continue to be one of the ways in which we offer space for Sabbath rest, for renewal, for moments to breathe together and to encounter the holy. Our online daily chapels will be much like this video, sort of a combination of recordings from campus ministry staff and from others on campus. We will seek to make these videos available at sort of our regular chapel time hours each day through the end of the semester. So that means Monday, Wednesday, Friday, somewhere around 10:40, they will be available. And on Tuesdays and Thursdays, that will be 11:30. All the services will be posted and you'll be able to access them on the campus ministry website blog and our Facebook page, sort of at any time that you can. And links will be provided, we hope, through our daily emails. We really do ask that you extend us a little bit of grace as we are seeking to do Christian worship and offer some interfaith dialogues or encounters or experiences in these new ways. Admittedly, some things will work well and other things not so much. But we are in this together, trusting that the power of the Spirit moves through this medium, that we might experience together God's love for us in text and in song, in word and in prayer, all done in community, physically distant to be sure, but socially and spiritually connected. With that, I would like to begin our Monday daily chapel with a song. Our chapel services on Mondays are often titled Mindful Mondays, as we create space for breathing, movement, silence, maybe a little bit of yoga, meditation, and prayer. Today, I am mindful for the need for peace. Peace in our anxious hearts, peace in our isolated homes, peace on this fragmented campus, peace in struggling communities, peace in our world seeking healing and restoration amid the storm of coronavirus. I've asked my 11-year-old daughter, Anya, to help me with this song, Peace, Be Still. May the words be a meditation for you. Be still. Peace, be still. The storm rages. Peace be still. A reading from Mark's Gospel. On that day, when evening had come, Jesus said to his disciples, "Let us go across to the other side." And leaving the crowd behind, they took Jesus with them in the boat, just as he was. Other boats were with him. A great windstorm arose, and the waves beat into the boat, so that the boat was already being swamped. But Jesus was in the stern, asleep on a cushion. And they woke him up and said to him, "Teacher, do you not care that we are perishing?" Jesus woke up and rebuked the wind and said to the sea, "Peace, be still." Then the wind ceased, and there was a dead calm. Jesus said to them, "Why were you afraid? Have you still no faith?" And they were filled with great awe and said to one another, "Who is this, that even the wind and the sea obey him?" For years, and really decades, the complementary closing, or valediction as the technical term is, of my emails, the ending, how you end, how you sign off, it's always been one word for me: peace. We'll see you next week. Peace, comma, Justin Lind-Ayres. A simple wish of peace, no matter the purpose of the communication. Sometimes I would, deviate it a little bit and maybe use it in a different language to say shalom or paz or pasha, but always a form of peace. It became for me a habit, a ritual of complementary closing, a signing off, to extend a word of peace. How do you end your correspondences? What complementary closing is ritualistic for you, if you have one? A few months ago, a group of Augsburg students were hanging out in the campus ministry theater department suite in the Foss building. And I overheard them having this really lively conversation, a discussion about complementary closings of all things. A few of the students were sort of on this mission, a hunt for the perfect way to sign off on their emails. So I couldn't help myself. I kind of just inserted myself into the conversation and wanted to listen. And for them, the standard sincerely would not do. Alternatives were offered: be well, or best, or until next time, or good courage. And many other phrases were sort of tossed about. But what was kind of interesting is the students were really taking notice of faculty and staff members at Augsburg and the complimentary signing off that they would use. In other words, faculty and staff were known for how they signed off on their emails. Of special note were of the theater department and the chair, Darcy Engen, who always signs her emails warmly, Darcy. And another student brought up the fact that President Pribenow always signs off his emails to the community, "Faithfully yours." It was really a great, fun conversation, to be sure. So again, how do you close your correspondences? I realized after that conversation with those Augies that I crashed, that sometime in the last year or two, I had changed my closing from peace to peace, be still. It just sort of happened. And I know why. It was because of this song, the song that I somewhat forced on you to play for me. But it's a beautiful, beautiful song. It was a song that I learned in sort of kind of recent years and had begun to sing it over and over in community together. And it really just got into my bones. Peace, be still. Now, be still is an imperative word to be sure, but sometimes we sort of need that command to break through the noise in order to invite us into another way of being. And in this case, it's a command turned invitation to settle into silence, into stillness, into peace. The song, of course, comes directly from this reading in Mark 4 and Jesus' stilling of the storm. In this story, we heard the disciples take Jesus for an evening boat ride to the other side of the Sea of Galilee. Jesus, finding a cushion in the stern of the boat, curls up for sleep. It's kind of like behavior you might expect from a toddler at the end of a day. I've always felt it sort of somewhat comical for Jesus to just be dozing off in the boat. And it was more than just a power nap because he had to have been in a deep sleep. For a great windstorm arose and the waves were beating against the boat so that the boat was about to be swamped. And Jesus was sleeping through the whole thing. And the disciples are understandably freaking out at this point, and they rouse Jesus from his deep slumber. And I imagine Peter or James or John or one of the brave disciples kind of grabbing a bucket, dipping it into the sea, and then splashing Jesus with this cold water to wake him up. And they say unto him, "Teacher, don't you care? Don't you care that we are perishing?" Maybe I imagine that bucket of cold water being splashed on Jesus today because I kind of want to do that myself. To just throw cold water onto Jesus and implore him to wake up and do something about the fact that many are perishing, many are suffering, many are scared as our boat is being buffeted and battered by this storm of COVID-19. Don't you care, Jesus? Get up and do something. I don't know why Jesus was sleeping in the boat as the storm raged on, but I do know what it is like to feel a storm is raging and to pray for Jesus to do something about it, and then to wait for a word, a sign, a response, anything from Jesus. Is he asleep? Because this boat is being swamped. And into my sense of doubt and dread, which is real, I hear a twofold promise of hope from Mark's gospel. First, the fact is that Jesus is in the boat. Jesus is in the boat, and that is crucial. Jesus is with his disciples as surely as Jesus is with us now. In the story, he may have been sleeping, but thanks be, Jesus was there in the boat. God is with us, Emmanuel, in this boat. And the second word of promise, Jesus doesn't stay sleeping. The storm does not overtake the boat. Jesus woke up and rebuked the wind and said to the sea, "Peace, be still." The wind ceased, and there was a dead calm. Peace, be still. May this holy word break through the chaos of coronavirus, the doubt that lingers, and the fears that we have that are real. May Christ, the one who has the power to still all storms and bring peace, meet you with this valediction: peace, be still. Even as the storm rages, may you experience Christ's comfort and inmost calm, as the peace of God that surpasses all understanding, surpasses all suffering, surpasses all viruses, surpasses all storms of life. May this peace of God gift you with hope today, the hope of the eternal promise and presence of our God.